Welcome to our channel. In this video, we will learn some important points related to the lesson New Kings and Kingdoms from the 7th class Social Studies textbook. Many new dynasties emerged after the 7th century. The landlord or warrior chief of 7th century AD is called as Samanta. As Samantas gained power and wealth, they declared themselves to be Mahasamanta, Mahamandaleshwara, and so on. Rashtrakutas were subordinate to the Chalukyas of Karnataka. In the mid-8th century, Dantidurga, a Rashtrakuta chief, defeated his Chalukya overlord and performed a ritual called Hiranyagarbha. Kadamba Mayura Sharma and the Gurjara Pratihara Harishchandra were Brahmins who gave up their traditional professions and took to arms, successfully establishing kingdoms in Karnataka and Rajasthan respectively. Prashastis and land grants. The invocation part of an inscription is Prashasti. Prashastis contain details about the ruling family such as their predecessors and the period to which they belonged. They also contain encomiums of rulers and their achievements. But they tell us about how rulers wanted to depict themselves, for example, valiant, victorious warriors. These were composed by learned Brahmins who occasionally helped in the administration. The achievements of Nagabhatta. Many rulers described their achievements in Prashastis. One Prashasti, written in Sanskrit and found in Gwalior, Madhya Pradesh, describes the exploits of Nagabhatta, a Pratihara king. He won a war over Chakrayudha. He defeated the king of Vanga, Anartha, Malwa, Kirata, Turushka, Vatsa, Matsya. Kings often rewarded Brahmins and others who served them by grants of land. These were recorded on copper plates which were given to those who received the land. In the 12th century, a long Sanskrit poem containing the history of kings who ruled over Kashmir was composed by an author named Kalhana. He used a variety of sources including inscriptions, documents, eyewitness accounts and earlier histories to write his account. Unlike the writers of Prashastis, he was often critical about rulers and their policies. Administration in the kingdoms. Many of these new kings adopted high sounding titles such as Maharajadi Raja, Tribhuvana Chakravarti, and so on. In each of these kingdoms, resources were obtained from the producers, that is, peasants, cattle keepers, artisans, and traders were made to surrender a part of what they produced and sold. Revenue was also collected from traders. These resources were used to finance the king's establishment as well as for the construction of temples and forts. The functionaries for collecting revenue were generally recruited from ruling families and positions were often hereditary. Warfare for wealth. The rulers belonging to the Gurjara Pratihara, Rashtrakuta, and Pala dynasties fought for control over Kannauj in the Ganga Valley for centuries. As there were three parties in this long drawn conflict, historians often describe it as the tripartite struggle. Muhammad Ghazni. One of the rulers, Sultan Muhammad of Ghazni, Afghanistan, ruled from 997 Common Era to 1030 Common Era and extended control over parts of Central Asia, Iran, and the northwestern part of the subcontinent. He raided northern India many times and plundered and destroyed wealthy temples, including that of Somnath in Gujarat. Much of the wealth that Muhammad looted was used to build the capital city at Ghazni. Muhammad Ghazni entrusted a scholar named Al Biruni to write an account of the subcontinent. This Arabic work, known as the Kitab al Hind, is an important source for historians. Al Biruni consulted Sanskrit scholars to prepare this account. Chahmanas. Chahmanas, later known as the Chauhans, ruled over the region around Delhi and Ajmer. They attempted to expand their control to the west and the east, where they were opposed by the Chalukyas of Gujarat and the Gadwalas of western Uttar Pradesh. The best known Chahmana ruler was Prithviraj III, who defeated an Afghan ruler named Sultan Muhammad Ghori in 1191 Common Era, but lost to him the very next year in 1192 Common Era. The Cholas. A minor chiefly family known as the Muttarayar held power in the Kaveri Delta. They were subordinates to the Pallava kings of Kanchipuram. Vijayalaya, who belonged to the ancient chiefly family of the Cholas from Urayur, captured the delta from the Muttarayar in the middle of the 9th century. He built the town of Tanjavur and a temple for goddess Nishambasudini there. The Pandyan and the Pallava territories to the south and north were made part of this kingdom. Rajaraja I, considered the most powerful Chola ruler, became the king in 985 Common Era and expanded his control over most of these areas. He also reorganized the administration of the empire. Rajaraja's son Rajendra I continued his policies and even conquered the Ganga Valley, Sri Lanka, and countries of Southeast Asia, developing a navy for these expeditions. Splendid temples and bronze sculpture. The big temples of Tanjavur and Gangaikonda Cholapuram, built by Rajaraja and Rajendra. These temples were not only places of worship but also the hub of economic, social, and cultural life as well. Amongst the crafts associated with temples, the making of bronze images was the most distinctive. Chola bronze images are considered to be the finest in the world. Agriculture and irrigation. A variety of methods were used for irrigation. In some areas, wells were dug. In other places, huge tanks were constructed to collect rainwater. Irrigation works require planning, organizing labor and resources, maintaining these works, and deciding on how water is to be shared. The administration of the empire. The king had a council of ministers to help him. The empire was divided into mandalams or provinces, further subdivided into valanadus and nadus. Settlements of peasants known as Uru. Groups of such villages formed larger units called Nadu. The village council and the Nadu performed several administrative functions, including dispensing justice and collecting taxes. Rich peasants of the Vellala caste exercised considerable control over the affairs of the Nadu under the supervision of the central Chola government. The Chola kings gave some rich landowners titles like Muvendavelan, Ariyar, etc. as markers of respect and entrusted them with important offices of the state at the center. Types of land. Chola inscriptions mention several categories of land. Vellan Vagai, land of non-Brahmin proprietors. Brahmadeya, land gifted to Brahmins. Shalabhoga, land for the maintenance of a school. Devadana, Tirunamattukalni, land gifted to temples. Pallichandanam, land donated to Jaina institutions. Each Brahmadeya was looked after by an assembly or sabha of prominent Brahmana landholders. Their decisions were recorded in detail in inscriptions, often on the stone walls of temples. Associations of traders known as Nagarams also occasionally performed administrative functions in towns. Inscriptions from Uttaramerur in Chengalpat district, Tamil Nadu, provide details of the way in which the Sabha was organized. The Sabha had separate committees to look after irrigation works, gardens, temples, etc. Names of those eligible to be members of these committees were written on small tickets of palm leaf. Inscriptions and texts. All those who wish to become members of the Sabha should be owners of land from which land revenue is collected. They should have their own homes. They should be between 35 and 70 years of age. They should have the knowledge of the Vedas. They should be well versed in administrative matters and be honest. If anyone has been a member of any committee in the last 3 years, he cannot become a member of another committee. Anyone who has not submitted his accounts, including details of his relatives, cannot contest the elections. While inscriptions tell us about kings and powerful men, here is an excerpt from the Periya Puranam, a 12th century Tamil work, which informs us about the lives of ordinary men and women. On the outskirts of Adanur was a small hamlet of Puliyas, studded with small huts under old thatches and inhabited by agrarian laborers engaged in manual occupations. Thank you for watching our videos. To get a notification of our further videos, make sure to subscribe our channel.